no idea if there's going to be anything here. Something special happening over here, Dave? No? I just left Toys R Us. Toys R Us surprisingly had a ton of stuff, but I got there late, so it was all gone.
The blocks were all over there. I got it all.
Cool, man. They had a ton of the 4-inch stuff at Toys R Us. Tons of it.
Well, guess what we don't have over here?
None? Oh, go over there. They have so much of it. I got the Rebels figures. Those are the only ones I really wanted.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of them. Yeah, they have a ton of them. Exclusive version of her, which is the same figure, with some extra stuff. So I don't think I need probably that one's the same.
Alright.
Look at this guy's mouth.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
He don't look happy.
He does. Rebel rebelling against the Empire. Yeah! All these toys! Hey guys, so Force Friday for the Rogue One release. All in all, pretty good time. Had a great trip there. As you guys could see from the footage, I kind of feel like Toys R Us did a little bit of a better job this time around. I don't know if you guys watched my experience video about Force Friday last year for The Force Awakens, but I waited in line outside of Toys R Us last year, and it was a bit of a bust for me because the thing that I primarily collect for Star Wars these days is the 6-inch line, the 6-inch Black Series, and last year Toys R Us only got one case of those in, which means the first 1 or 2 guys that walked in the door last year got all of them. I was a little late this year getting the Toys R Us. Jonathan and I were actually recording a podcast right beforehand, and I didn't really know what to expect tonight. I didn't feel like this event felt as big as the Force Awakens release. It was a little quieter too. They weren't promoting this one as big, but I still wanted to go ahead and go just to see what was going on. So we actually got to Toys R Us about 5 minutes after they opened. It was about 12:05 or so when we waltzed in. And so there was already a crowd of around 10 people or so in the Star Wars section. But there was still lots of stuff sitting on the pegs. I was really shocked by that. Now, most of the 6-inch Black Series were already gone when I got there. But as you can see from the videos, there were still a few stragglers hanging around. I did get one figure, but one thing I noticed is that most of the people around me were all holding stacks of 6-inch figures, which means they got way more cases in this year, so they almost had enough to go around for everybody. So it was pretty cool. Let me go ahead and show you guys the things I picked up while I was at Toys R Us. First of all, they did give out free posters, which is pretty cool. Check that out. I thought they were supposed to have free t-shirts or something too, but they definitely weren't handing out t-shirts at my Toys R Us. I don't know if they just forgot or what was going on. But we did get these free posters when we checked out at the register. And I only got 3 figures at Toys R Us, but here's what I found. So this is one of the Rogue One 6-inch figures that was still hanging on the shelf when I got it. It's Captain Casseon Andor. Casseon Andor? So I don't know much about this guy yet, obviously, since the movie isn't out. But I grabbed him. He was the only Rogue One 6-inch figure still sitting on the shelf. Now, there was still an unmasked Kylo Ren, at least one that was there. I opted not to grab him because I have the San Diego Comic-Con version, which is the exact same figure, but the Comic-Con one came with more stuff. Came with the melted Vader helmet. So I was okay leaving that. And then there was 4 or 5 Rey with BB-8. It looks like the same figure from The Force Awakens. They just re-released her. She was the only thing really left sitting on the peg, aside from the unmasked Kylo, because all of us that were there, we've already got her. So basically, that's why she was still sitting there. Still cool to see Rey get a re-release. I totally get why they did it. Main character from the new franchise there. One thing that I was really happy about seeing, especially for collectors of the 4-inch line, was they had tons of the 4-inch figures. And you saw that in my footage, hopefully, of Toys R Us. They had a huge display. And even though, several people had already been there and picked through everything they wanted, they had lots of everybody. And, like, the way it was set up, whole pegs were the same character. So, like, all those pegs you see, it's all the same character all the way through. So the ones I was really excited about were the Rebels figures, because I love the Rebels cartoon series. So I love the Rebels figures, especially in the 4-inch scale. I feel like this is perfect for the Rebels guys. So I got myself my Kanan, wearing his Stormtrooper disguise there, or Sandtrooper disguise. And then I've got my Sabine Wren, the new version there, which is really sweet. By the way, they had like a Sabine Mandalorian helmet mask for kids. It was amazing. How cool was that? You guys probably saw it in the video footage. So, all in all, I felt like it was pretty good. I got 3 things. I was perfectly happy with that. I'm not ultra worried about finding everything, because everything from The Force Awakens ended up being everywhere eventually. So I'm not worried about finding this stuff. Anything I want to get, I'll find. But it was still a fun experience. I ran into a lot of cool collectors at Toys R Us. At least 2 people called out Pixel Dan to me and said they were fans, which is always amazing to see, especially here at home. That's always kind of weird when I run into people who watch my stuff that live in the same town as me. So that was really cool. So special shout out, of course, to all of the awesome people that were also there, braving the midnight launch. Everybody was really cool again, very nice. I actually felt really bad because I feel I totally almost snaked somebody's 6-inch. They had the Toys R Us exclusive Trooper, which I missed out on. I missed all of him. But as I was walking to the registers, I noticed a stack of figures sitting on one of the islands away from the Star Wars stuff, and I was like, whoa, did somebody just ditch all these? What is going on? So I started looking through them, and then a guy hopped over and he goes, oh, those are mine. Sorry, I set them there. I felt really bad, but I left them for him, of course. I wasn't going to steal somebody else's toys, but I did flip through them. I looked at them. So I decided to go ahead and run down to Walmart just to see what was going on. And it was really cool because they didn't really announce a midnight opening or sale, but they're open 24 hours. I thought I'd see if maybe they just happened to be unboxing the stuff, and turns out they were. As I'm walking in, first of all, I saw my good buddy Dave Draper. He was already sitting there. It was kind of funny. He waved me off as I was coming down the aisle at him. But the Walmart employees were there opening the cases, just opening them up. And Dave and one other guy were the only ones that were there. So it was really cool. And they had huge floor displays, and the floor displays were packed, from the bottom up to about, mid-level on me, about, so high, this high, of 6-inch figures. So you can see that in the footage there too. I was able to pick out basically everything else I wanted except for that Toys R Us exclusive Trooper. So here's what I found at Walmart. They had some good stuff there. So I got the Imperial Death Trooper. Really cool looking trooper. Love that. I got the one I was really excited about, the new droid K2SO. He looks fantastic, by the way. I love this figure. So cool looking. So I grabbed him. I passed on Maskless Kylo because he was there, and I passed on Jyn because I have the San Diego version of her too, and I'm pretty sure she's also the exact same figure. So I went ahead and left her, but they had tons of her. So no worries there. She should be pretty easy to find. And then I was really excited because they did start putting out some of the 4-inch stuff as I was standing there. And I went ahead and got some of these, the 2-packs, because I love the creatures. Like, first of all, this guy right here. That guy's amazing. All the footage I've seen online, all the pictures, I knew I was going to end up getting this guy. So when I saw him in person, I couldn't pass him up. And then there's this crazy guy, Rebel Commando Pow. Is just got to be the weirdest looking thing. Look at that mouth. He's got like an opening and closing mouth. He looks like a Muppet. We were talking about that at the store. I couldn't pass him up. He's so weird looking. So I got that guy as well. But it was cool because they were also putting out some of the 4-inch Black Series figures. They didn't have any of the Imperial Guards, the Royal Guards. I kind of was hoping to grab one of them, and there was some other folks there that were looking for that one as well. But it was really cool because they were putting these out, and they're on sale, so they were only $10 a piece. They rang up $10. So I couldn't pass up Admiral Akbar and Lando Calrissian in the 4-inch scale. So that I think I did pretty good for myself. Like, this is my haul. You know, I got the 6-inch figures that I really wanted. You know, I didn't get Jyn or Kylo because I have the San Diego version, so I just got the 3 new characters I didn't have yet. I picked up the 2 Rebels figures that were a must for me, and I ended up walking out with a few extra things as well. And, you know, I ran into a lot of cool people at both. Walmart was another place where I ran into some folks who recognized me as Pixel Dan, so it was just really cool, you know, getting to hang out with some people, hanging out with guys like Dave, other cool collectors here in town, talking to them. It was just a really good experience. And, of course, Jonathan tagged along with me again. He helped me shoot some footage with my GoPro there and just kind of hung out with me and chatted and everything. So, good time. Had a great time. I have a trip coming up, obviously, this weekend. I'm doing a lot of traveling this month, but I'll probably try to do some videos on some of this stuff. I know there's going to be a ton of reviews of these Star Wars toys out there, so I'm not like super worried about like being the first guy to have these videos, because that's just, it's already too late for that, and it doesn't matter. I'll review the stuff that I want to review, but I wanted to do this experience video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know in the comments if any of you guys went out at midnight as well, or just, you know, during the day, if you found some stuff, how your experience was your Toys R Us, you know, better this time like mine was? Was it just as bad as last time? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I had a great experience. I hope you guys did as well. If not, don't worry. Don't get too upset. Like I said, I'm sure these are going to be pretty easy to come by, and hopefully you guys will have good luck finding them soon. Take care, my friends. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe to me so you don't miss out on any of my content. And until next time.